Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles, the elders, the great millstone, and salutations to all you Akim around the world preaching the gospel and truth and in sincerity and with charity.
That's right. And basically, we didn't really have a name, a topic. We had a topic, but we really ain't got a name for it. So we're really just going to go in the scriptures on it, and the scriptures really going to explain itself. So I'm going to grab the first scripture. Okay, go.
This is Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Mm-hmm. And that's a part of our salvation, man. Us getting our land back. And the scripture says that we shall be delivered from the land of the north and from all the places whither we were scattered. And damn, we didn't write down Hebrews.
No, I thought about that already, but I remember. In the New Testament, James 1:1, to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. So this is a prophecy that's still relevant, man, in case ask, like to say the Old Testament doesn't really work. That's madness. His prophecy's not fulfilled. This hasn't happened. All right, this is to come, man. And this is a huge part of what salvation really is, man. These people think salvation is... I don't know what they think, because they say you can't get salvation to the end. They say if you're dead, you're going to heaven or hell. That's just some confused shit. This is what salvation truly is, man. Heaven's going to be on earth. Okay? And Israel is going to be put in back into their land, because that's what heaven is at. Yahweh told the disciples, the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Yeah, sure.
Meaning that we are the citizens, man. That's our land. And that's what we're going to go into right here, man. Showing that us getting our land back is a big part of salvation. That's really, we can say that's salvation in a sense. Salvation also comes with other things, but we can say that's salvation. And we can say getting a new mind is salvation. That's something that comes with it. Okay?
Getting out of this wicked ass flesh.
Right. What's the next one?
Ezekiel 39 and 26. I got that.
Okay.
This is Ezekiel 39, verse 26. It says, I'm going to start at 25. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. And when it speaks about bringing again the captivity, it's turning it away. So he's bringing us out of captivity. It says, after that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. It says, when I have brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands.
Right. Brought them from the people and gathered from the enemy's land. All right, so this is still, don't forget James 1:1. So this is talking about future times after Yahweh came and died. So he didn't come and die so the Gentiles, actual heathens, can come and do what? They got their own fucking shit. All right, this is about us getting our stuff back, man. Getting from under the curses. Bottom line, man.
Yep.
It's us getting the blessings, man. Getting our promise. Okay, that was given to Abraham, to Isaac, Jacob, man. The land flowing milk and honey. Getting a heart without the stone in it, man. A fleshy heart, man. Okay? Getting our extraterrestrial bodies, man. Okay?
Putting our foot up Esau's ass.
That's right. That's right.
Being over all these nations.
Right, that's salvation. Yeah. It's a part of it.
It says, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. Then shall...
In the sight of many nations, man. it says the Lord is sanctified in us, Yasharallah.
That's right.
Okay, Yahushua sanctified with us, Yasharallah. Like it says it's a rock. Now it was something about wisdom, but Yahushua is just that. Okay, it said it rested upon Jacob. Right, that's going to be manifest amongst many nations, man. The Gentiles are going to see our strange salvation, man. All right, the Lord coming, putting His Spirit in us now, us getting our glory, and then making our way to our own land, man.
It says, verse 28. It says, "Then shall they know that I am the Lord their power."
Wait, where's all the Gentiles? What the fuck they at right there, man? They witnessing us getting set on high, man, getting the Holy Land back.
That's right.
Hey, you guys don't even realize motherfuckers still fight over that land. They still fight over that land, man. That's how important it is.
And no, because I was going to say, but the scripture says, if those motherfuckers were actually the real Israelites, it wouldn't be war at all, period. Let alone in the actual land.
Right.
You know?
Right. Hell, we would have heard about it. We would have heard, well, they came out the north. They've been talking about Northern Europe then. That was the case. It would have been, it had to be the same now. And it'd be all 12 of them. They ain't the real Israelites. Dick Watts.
Okay. Why they still celebrate the Passover? Just like why we still celebrate the Passover.
Okay.
It says, "It shall no more be said." Passover represents coming out of Egypt. You know? But verse 28, it says, "Then shall they know that I am the Lord their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there."
Right. That's the salvation we're waiting for, man. We're going to be gathered and brought to our own land, man. Okay? It said that was led to captivity. When did them crackers serve the captivity? Wait a minute. These motherfuckers and these heathens are not captives. Okay? They come over here willingly. They got their own fucking lands. Are they in tribute to them? Of course. They serve to them? Of course. They ain't technically captives. We were literally captured and brought over here.
Yep.
And trapped. Okay?
It says, yeah, the last verse. It says, "Neither will I hide my face anymore from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord power."
Kind of. That's why, and him pouring that spirit out is starting now, man. They're not able to do these sit downs and lessons, man. All right, do the work. I got this Ezekiel 34.
All right, kind of. If you want to read it.
Yeah, Ezekiel 34, right? What's next? Yeah.
Verse 12.
Yeah. Ezekiel 34:12. "As the shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day, is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and I will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day."
Right. And that's plain, man. We just read about being delivered out of the lands where he scattered us from the heathen.
Kind.
You know?
Well, Yahushua said, "I'm sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel."
That's right.
Matthew 10. And then it says in Matthew 15:24. You know? That's them sheep.
Because back in Jeremiah, I believe it's the 50th.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. They
My people are lost sheep. Yep, they are going for good. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so
we're on the same page, man. Talking about linked up. So, like, I've been really wooed off the spirit all night.
Man.
I'm always, but what's been happening tonight?
yeah, the live show was hot. You know.
Right, it was like 3 live streams on at one time today, including Apostle Har's coming on, and then led to ours. I was mentioning there was one earlier, before that, at least one. Spirit is pouring out. That means our salvation is near, which means judgment is near. Which means as the fires increase, man, we need to increase, man.
That's right.
Okay? Show ourselves gold. How's the word described in the 2nd chapter? Acceptable men.
Oh, in the furnace.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, But that's beside the point, Salaki. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and all the inhabited places of the country.
And I mean, and set them in their own land. So we don't have our own land. Because in Hebrews, the 11th chapter, speaks of us seeking. This is Hebrews 11.
And it's going to tell you the land that we're seeking, which clearly says Israel. But it's literally that land, man. So spiritual Israelites coming. It's talking about the promise given to our forefathers to get the land that was portioned to us, man. It said it's against the law, actually, to move the boundaries, man. So for the Edomites or any heathen to join to us and make our land their land, that's really them moving the bounds. And that's against the law.
Hey, the scripture says, no more shall the unclean enter into us.
Right.
So we ain't gonna be mingled with these heathens.
That's right,
man. This is Hebrews 11:14. It says, "For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly, wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power, for he has prepared for them a city." And that's Holy Jerusalem coming out the sky. When we come out of them chariots, we are people before we are placed. Then we're going to go around and then gather you fucking elites up. And the scriptures tell the rest, man. Shit. You know your judgment.
There's no more in Hebrews, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The one, I wanted to continue in city.
It's the same chapter. Hebrews 11?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same chapter. If I'm not mistaken. I could be actually.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's Hebrews 11.
No, you know what? No. I was thinking another part. But no, it's not. It's 13.
13.
Yeah. But it is something else. Oh shit, I didn't tell you what verse. Salaki. 14. Salaki, bro. Right?
No, Hebrews 13:14 it says, For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to the Most High continually, that is, the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name. But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices the Most High is well pleased. And that's what's going to get us into the kingdom of heaven, man.
God, this is back in Ezekiel 34. And 13. I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries. I will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel, by the rivers and all the inhabited places of the country.
Mm-hmm.
I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, saith the Lord Yahweh. I will seek that which was lost, and bring again. You got Matthew 25?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, count. I will seek that which was lost, and bring that which was driven away, and bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick. Hey, Isaiah, the first chapter, man.
That's right.
Right, the whole head is sick. That's Yasharallah. And I will destroy the fat and the strong, and I will feed them with judgment. And as for you, O my flock, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the he-goats. Okay? That's separation in itself. Alright? The Lord is separating the holy from the unholy, man. The righteous from the wicked. Okay? He separated 1/3 from the 2/3. How much more should you separate the fucking the elect from fucking Gentiles, actual heathens, man.
That's right.
A heathen can't even come near the temple of the Lord. That's the law.
The reason.
The actual altar.
Right.
The altar.
No, I think they can't come into the temple.
None of it, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. I forgot.
Salaki, brother.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's 4:55 in the morning, so forgive us.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, the Spirit brought it back. That's the reason the fucking 2/3 getting the judgment they getting. It's because they acting like heathens.
Right.
So let alone a real fucking heathen. Come on, man.
This is Ezekiel 34 and 18 now. Seeing this. Oh, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was it. We're gonna start at Matthew
25. Just when you separate the sheep to the right, and it goes to the left. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
God, I know what you're talking about, but I don't think that's Matthew 25.
Bro.
It is. It's a lot.
Come on, bro.
It's a lot. This is Matthew 25 and 31. It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them.
Wait.
Yep.
Before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall do what? Unite them all. Just as Nimrod was doing, but the Lord just stopped that. Just as Babylon is doing, but the Lord stopped that. It's stopping that. No, it stopped it because it's conquered already, man.
It says, and he shall separate them.
No. After all the separation, now it's time, because white Jesus came and united all people.
Well, fuck white Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Says,
Yahweh
Shai says, and he shall separate them.
So all nations are going to come together. He's going to separate them, man. He's given every nation their own portion. That's order. You think because Yahweh came and died, he died to bring this order and change what the Lord has done? No. He died to cover his own sins and ours, man. To redeem us from these curses. So we can be able to come back and get our land again.
That's right.
That's why he died, man. He died so once Deuteronomy 28 is fully set on us, and we get carried away into captivity, we scattered abroad, we have a way back and lose our heritage, we have a way back to Yahweh Shai to get placed back under the promise that was given to us, man. Which is receiving our land. That's salvation, been redeemed from the curses. Y'all motherfuckers are under the curses. Y'all about to be.
That's right. It says, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
We know what the sheep are. The sheep of the house of Israel. And the goats here represents all fucking heathens. But you can better believe that the rough goat, the Grecian, is definitely in that, man. Because that's the goat that was called a goat, man. Fucking Edomites, man. Go ahead.
God, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
God.
And that's a good scripture to bring out, Lord willing, when we put together this next one.
God. This is Deuteronomy 33. I don't know what I said. Deuteronomy 30. Oh,
yeah, it's on there. It's on there.
Oh, that's good then. This is Deuteronomy 33 and 28. Yeah, I'm just getting to the point. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon the land of corn and wine. Also as heaven shall drop down dew.
So it says that Jacob shall dwell alone. So we ain't gonna have no fucking heathens with us, man. This is Isaiah 4. It's more. Go ahead.
Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies. Psalms 83.
Yep.
What is that? First Maccabees 2:10. That's every fucking nation. Okay?
That's right.
And thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Jeremiah 30:11 and verse 16. Okay, man, these other nations is gonna be fucking. Jeremiah 4 and 12. The story of the Gentiles. Y'all are mad, man. 4:7. Okay, kind of slack.
4:7.
Okay. Salvation is us getting our land back, man. Being able to serve Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai properly.
That's right.
That's not for y'all, man. Y'all didn't get that promise, man. Y'all got your own lands. Y'all became mighty nations. Y'all got y'all chance to rule. Now it's time to set up the eternal, man. Shit.
And it's gonna be a righteous rule.
I was just thinking that when the righteous rule,
you know,
people rejoice.
So they gonna be cool. You motherfuckers gonna be cool anyway. Hey, but as the scripture says in Romans 8, that the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation.
Through the Spirit, they want us to be set up. They just don't fucking know it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that had Isaiah 14:1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And those strangers are Israelite foreigners. Because we just read the scriptures where Israel shall dwell alone. When you look at this word cleave, it means to make into one, to join to one. We just quoted the scripture where it says, no unclean thing shall enter into thee anymore. So we ain't going to be mingled with no heathens. So this stranger is talking about Israelite foreigners.
All right. Joel 3:17. So shall you know that I am Yahweh your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
Yep. Back in Isaiah 14, I'm going to read verse 2. It says,
that word for strangers is a war. Fucking true heathen.
It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So you other heathen stuff, you're getting in captivity, man.
You're getting fucked.
The strangers and Gentiles talking about Israelite foreigners. That's getting the salvation, man. You heathens have judgment to receive, man. Recompense. You got to get paid back what you've done to us.
That's right.
And besides, y'all got your own land. So we need our own stuff, man.
Let's prove that.
God, yeah.
This is, I'm going to jump back a chapter. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 13. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. You know? So let's talk about you different nations who, you fucking East Indians, you Elamites can go back where? To India. You goddamn Ishmaelites, whether you go back to Palestine or Saudi Arabia or Pakistan or wherever the fuck you're from. These gooks, these Moabites, the Chinese, gonna take their ass back to China.
This is Jeremiah 50:16. Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle. In the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people.
Right. So when the grinding cease here, what do you think what do you think these heathens gonna do? They gonna take their ass back to their own land, man. And it says when the oppressing sword come, that's when the martial law, when they coming in heavy, right? Because you know this happened during the time of Babylon, but as Ecclesiastes 1:9 says, the thing that has been is the thing which is thou shalt be. So it's gonna happen all over again. Whatever.
For fear of the oppressing sword,
Mm-hmm.
they shall turn everyone to his people. They shall flee everyone to his own land.
Right. So once all hell break loose here, man, they the motherfuckers go back to their country, man.
Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria have devoured him. And last is Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, has broken his bones.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so everybody else is going to go back to their own shit. But Israel, we stuck, man. We scattered wherever the fuck we at. But it's fact, because that's where our salvation is going to come from.
That's right.
But the fact of the matter is, that's the whole point. We need the salvation. Y'all get to run and flee to your own shit because y'all came up here willingly. We trapped, man. Okay, this is a prison to us.
Because Yahweh Shah came to redeem, as the scripture says, redeem those from the curse of the law.
God.
Who was under the law? Who was scattered? Who got their land desolate? Who lost their heritage? Who was scattered to all the heathen under the earth? Under the four winds, man. Unto the four winds. That curse only fits us, man. So who is in need of salvation? Those that are underneath the curse. You read? Oh, you want me to get Jeremiah 49, all right? 49 and 5. Not Jeremiah, but Isaiah.
God, you going there?
Kind of like that.
Okay.
This is Isaiah 49 verse 5. It says, "And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my power shall be my strength."
Right. Though Israel be not gathered, man. So we scattered everywhere. But this is what the servant was set up to do, man. Bring Israel back together. All right, which starting with Yahweh Shai, man. To redeem us from the curses, from redeeming us from captivity, from redeeming us from being scattered abroad. On down the list, but we're focused on those right now, man. Being the tail and not the head, being the bar and not the lender. Okay?
It says, verse 6, "And he said, It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribe of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth."
Right. Now, this Gentiles is talking about Israelite foreigners. But, like I said, I'm going to start doing when we're going into this type of topic, when we touch on it, just bring out what the word simply means. So it is the Strong's number H1471. It says Gawaya or Gaia, nation people, usually of non-Hebrew people, of descent. It says usually of non-Hebrew people. Then the next one it says of descendants of Abraham. Then the next one it says of Israel. So sometimes Israelites, descendants of Abraham, are called Gentiles.
That's right.
And Gentiles are always called Gentiles. Alright? Because that's the fuck they are. They're Gentiles, they're heathens. Okay? It's two lots. It's Israel and it's the Gentiles. When an Israelite is not being seen as an Israelite, okay, then he's counted as a Gentile.
That's right.
But still should they need the salvation. Actual Gentile don't need the salvation. They got their own land. Okay? They choose to come over here willingly. They're not under the curses of the law. Okay? Yeah, they're under Esau, they're not under the curses. Not yet, man. Not yet. Go ahead.
Verse 7 it says, "Thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel," redeemed, buy back. You know, the heathens was never a part of it. How can you be bought back? "And his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nations abhorreth."
Hold on. This word redeem is cold. To redeem, act as a kinsman, redeemer, avenge, revenge, ransom through the part
Oh,
of a kinsman.
It's right, do the part of a kinsman. It says act as a kinsman or redeemer. That goes back to the law. You know, where it says let thy brother or the closest to kin come redeem him if he can't redeem himself.
Damn. So to get redeemed, you gotta be under the inheritance of Yahweh. Because we his bloodline. He calls us his children. That's given to Israel, man. You Gentiles can't get that. You can't be redeemed. You're not kinsmen. Okay? That's cold. I'm done. You're gonna hear
Yeah, that's heavy. It says, thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to a servant of rulers. Kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of the Lord that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, he shall choose thee. Thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee. And I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant of the people to establish the earth, the cause to inherit the desolate heritages.
Right, who is that? Who's the people that lost their heritage completely, man? Jeremiah 17:4 is to us. You guys got your history books. Y'all can figure out what the fuck y'all are. It's not hard to find out that Persia is Iran. That's simple, man. And that goes back to Elam. I feel we saw that at the museum. Remember when Apostle Ramlah was here? And they was talking about Elam, but it was the Persians. It was right there at the museum. Like, that's easy.
Yep.
The little college museum like that, man.
Right. These big ass exhibitions of the Babylonians and the Egyptians,
they don't have
the Assyrians.
Right. It's easy to find out that the Africans are Hamites. That only thing is hard to find because Esau had who he is. That's still ain't no hard things. They got the book, the 13th tribe. They point fingers at each other, so they all telling the truth. They ain't lying at the same time. They said they ain't Edomites. This other set of crackers, the Edomites. Where's the whole set? Only us lost our actual heritage, man.
Yep. And at the same museum, remember they had Israel, that little space at this table, if you brothers could see it. You know what I'm saying? That was just the exhibition of Israel. Just that little area right there.
And it wasn't explaining too much.
It didn't say nothing.
Right.
It just had a couple little things down there with Hebrew written on it.
Kind of.
It says, it says that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth. To them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in the ways, and their pasture shall be in all high places.
Right, and that goes right back to the same thing with the sheep, man. That's Israel, man. We're the ones getting that salvation. We're the ones that Yahushua came to be a light to. We're those Gentiles. We were those Gentiles, let me put it like that. Where I said we are the Israel. Okay? But it says that's in the prisoners. What is that?
Yep, I got it to see. This is Proverbs 42. Man, there's so much, man. I'm going to get straight to the point. 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all. It says, they are all.
This is what?
It says, but this is
what chapter? What book is this?
Isaiah 42.
Okay, I thought you said Proverbs.
Did I? Salakia,
I was reading it.
This is Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Right, that's Israel, man. Robbed, spoiled, man. They count our steps, like you say in Psalms. And prison house, man. This little time. We live in tiny, bro. Most Jake live in fucking apartments. Those are prison houses, man. Those are just big ass cells, man. It's like when the fucking rich ass cracker go to jail. They got them nice ass cells still. That's what we live in, man. Prison fucking houses, bro. Packed on top of each other.
Shit, this whole goddamn place is a prison.
That's the whole point. We fucking trapped. We don't have a land we can go to and just be our own nation at. Hey, a motherfucking a Ham can go back to whatever country he belongs to. A Ham, Jack can go back to Hawaii or Australia or where the fuck ever he needs to go. China, you know, Chinese can definitely go back. All these motherfuckers, man. Except for us, man, we stuck. It's gonna be Jacob versus Esau. For real in this bitch, man.
It says, they are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore.
Kind. Right, none saith restore, man. Hey, even the fucking Japanese got reparations for what happened to them in World War II. Everybody does, man. But not Jake, man. Nobody said restore, man. They ain't trying to give us our land. These motherfuckers had a fake ass Holocaust. They used that to put them in that land. That's what always happened, man. When somebody was captive to another country, something else got their land back. Except for us in America. That's proves we Israelites. And this time around, the Lord's going to do it, man. He going to let the country kill us over. He's going to take us. Right? It said in Isaiah 14, he shall set us in our place, right?
That's right.
Kind.
I'm going to jump to for sake of time, I'm going to jump to verse 18. Back in Isaiah 49, verse 18. It says, lift up thy eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together, and come to thee. As I live, saith the Lord, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament, and bind them on thee as a bride doeth. For thy waste in thy desolate places, and the land of thy destruction shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants. And they that swallowed thee up shall be far away.
Right. Now, it said Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, as the stars of the heaven. Okay? So right here it just said the land that we do have is going to be too narrow for us. So how the hell now is this too narrow for us? We invite no motherfuckers over already, man. That don't make any sense. And not to mention it said they that swallowed thee up. Again, Psalms 83. 1 Maccabees 2 and 10. All the heathens that swallowed us up.
I got you right here. It's Hosea 8 and 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles, all of you fuckers, as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
Right. So this proves that we're the Gentiles getting that salvation, man. We're the ones that get a place in our own land. We're the ones that swallowed up. We became as the Gentiles. Okay? But they should be far away.
Mm-hmm.
The stranger should not pass by them anymore.
That's right.
We should dwell in safety alone.
Alone. The Lord shall take us and set us in our own land. Right? It says, verse 20, the children which thou shalt have after thou hast lost the other shall say again in thy ears, the place is too straight for me, give place to me that I may dwell. Then shalt thou say in thy heart, who hath begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children and am desolate, a captive and removing to and fro, which goes back to declaring you a pilgrim, back in Hebrews 11 chapter. It says, and who hath brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These, where had they been? Thus saith the Lord of power, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and their daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders.
All right. They're gonna be serving us, man. They're gonna bring us into our kingdom, man. We're gonna put them to work like they put us to work. So how the fuck they gonna be saved with us?
It says, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children.
Right, we're gonna be delivered out of this captivity, man. We're no longer gonna be prisoners, man. Gunned down in the streets, and the police actually get to say, well, it's not against the law because they're not humans. They're not full humans. And he's still working for the force and shit. Okay?
Who's possessed to slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Right. Nobody else is going through this. We the only ones going through these curses, man. We the only ones going to get the salvation. We the ones who need our land back. We the ones that need to get from the fucking mighty, be removed as captives from the mighty. So I didn't go ahead.
It says, but thus saith the Lord, even the captives, I just read that, verse 26. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I am the Lord. Right, Slaki, it says, and all flesh shall know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
Of Jacob, man. So clearly those Gentiles are of Jacob. That was mentioned earlier. Next.
I guess we get back to us going to our own lands. We just proved that the heathens could go back to theirs. So who is the only people that's without a land, that's seeking a continual city, as we read earlier? You want to hit that Deuteronomy 30?
Oh, come on. This Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh thy power hath driven thee, and shalt return to Yahweh thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power hath scattered thee.
I mean that's plain.
Yeah. If any of thine be driven out into the outmost parts of heaven, from this will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from this will he fetch thee. Hey, so from every land we get, he's going to gather us, man. He's going to sift and say that the least grain shall fall, man.
Yep.
All Israel's going to be gathered, man. And Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And that's the whole thing right there, man. We're simply getting our possession, man, our inheritance that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? The blessing that Isaac gave to Jacob that Esau cried for. Esau got his fucking blessing. Hey, y'all ain't trying to partake in his shit. He fucking y'all over his blessing, man. Listen, our blessing is placed upon us, man. After y'all just fucking punishment, y'all gonna be straight. That was it. You got something else?
Because what it says that he will do good to thee and multiply thee above thy fathers. And when he said he would do good unto us, this is Luke 12 and 32. It says, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You know, so Yahweh Shem Yahushua desires us to be dwell alone, man, to be his people. And let me keep reading Deuteronomy 30 because verse 7 is a killer. Verse 6 though, it says, and the Lord thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. You know? And I mean, that's plain.
I got Ezekiel 34.
God.
We bring this up?
Uh,
No, I'm about the other Ezekiel.
yeah.
Come. This is Ezekiel 34 and 11. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will both search my sheep and seek them out. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day.
We did, because up here it says Ezekiel 34, 12 through 17.
Oh.
But right here it says Ezekiel 34, 11
That's what
through
happened.
15.
Okay, that's what happened.
Right. I got Isaiah 65 though.
Come.
It's
What is this?
Jeremiah 25, 27 to 29.
I went to it. I don't see why it's not. I know it was written wrong. I was reading it wrong.
This is Isaiah 65, verse 17. It says, for behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. You know, in the new heaven and new earth, talking about the rulership that's coming, man. It says,
Revelation says New Jerusalem.
yeah,
Okay? That's heaven, man. New Jerusalem, man. Us. Getting our land back, man.
it says, but be you glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. For the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands.
Right. That's Israel building, having a kingdom, New Jerusalem, to themselves, man. Nobody's going to enjoy that with us, man. They ain't going through this with us. Like they say, you wouldn't when we went out shooting in the gym. I didn't go through the curses there. We read in Deuteronomy 30. The curses just now finna be put on y'all lashes, man. And you niggas not finna partake in this with us, man. Shit. 2 Maccabees 7. Y'all ain't even been punished yet. How y'all need salvation? Y'all ain't even been punished yet. Y'all ain't gotta be saved from. I got the Jeremiah 23, 6.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah 23 and 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this
echoes Deuteronomy. No, Israel shall dwell alone. Right?
and this is his name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of spiritual Israel, right? But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. And from all countries whither I had driven them, they shall dwell in their own land.
And that's plain.
Right? The seed, man, of spiritual Israel. Hell, even in Galatians, tell you the seed. Galatians the 3rd chapter, Romans the 9th chapter. Okay?
I'll grab the next one. This is Jeremiah 24 and verse 6. It says, I'm going to start at 5. Thus saith the Lord, the power of Israel, like these good figs, so will I acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Judah, whom I have sent out of this place unto the land of the Chaldeans for their good. For I will set my eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land. And I will build them and not pull them down. And I will plant them and not pluck them up. And I will give them an heart to know me, that I am the Lord, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power, for they shall return unto me with their whole heart. You know, and that new heart, which goes back to Jeremiah 31 and 31, that fleshly heart, you know. And I guess we can end it on the Jeremiah 25.
I want you to understand who did it. I got to put phone in the group with Jeremiah.
This is Jeremiah 25 and verse 27. It says, therefore thou shalt say unto them, unto who all these nations, when you read up to verse 19, it speaks about these different nations who are going to drink of the cup that we drunk of. And the cup that we drunk of was the Lord's fury, man. His judgment, basically those curses. So that the same cup that we drunk, even the dregs, is going to get passed to you other nations, which it gives the rundown of you nations. If you read up, starting at verse 19, it says, verse 27, therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more. Because they talking about the Gentiles can be a part of this. But the Lord's telling them to rise no more because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thy hand, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord power of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. So you motherfuckers hey, it ain't no way around it. You gonna go through what we went through, man. Double at that. It says, therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall roar from an high, so like it says, shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. Which, going back to treading the grapes, is that great slaughter that's going to be upon all you nations, man. The Lord coming back with anger.
Okay. This is Baruch 4, and I'm going to start at 15. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation and of a strange language, who did the reverence, O man, or pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. Right? Which is talking about Jerusalem, the land of Jerusalem being left alone because we came over here and we forgot who we were, man, like it says in Psalms, man. Alright? We became Americans. We became Mexicans. We became, black British, belonging to the Moors. We became fucking Cubans. We became Puerto Rican, etc. Alright? Well, why can I help you? He that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. That's Jerusalem speaking now. The land. I have put off the clothing of peace, and put on me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry to the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto Yahweh, to deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting. He will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. For I send you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. That's the salvation. Our land is crying for us to come back. And it said, the everlasting shall save us. What is the salvation, man? Part of it, what you're saying is right here is, man, us being brought back to our land, man. We are brought back to Jerusalem. Which first, being brought back to the knowledge of it, okay? We're seeing when the Spirit is being poured out. For I send you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from my power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. Is that what I'm saying? Oh.
No.
My children.
How you get everybody out of there? How you get everybody out of that, man?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're straight. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, for thy enemy hath persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught up the enemies. And y'all that go through that, man. Y'all didn't get captured and tossed on slave ships, had to piss and shit on each other, man, died. So many bodies being chucked over at the shark start learning new paths, man. Okay?
Came over here, burning the northern kingdom at the stake, ripping the babies out the women's stomachs, trampling them with horses and shit.
Just right, man. Verse 29. Skip down some before we get through it. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. So check it. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall, which is all the fucking heathens.
That's right.
Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And because we're scattered everywhere, every nation has received us, man. So all you heathens are going to be fucking miserable, man. Because we're going to rule over you with a rod of iron, man, and execute judgments double that was placed upon us, man. Okay, so how y'all getting salvation when y'all getting the double ass whooping, man? It's like, what verse is that? Oh yeah, 33. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned to mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time.
And it's mainly, and that right there is talking about this bitch right here.
Oh man, God.
That whore that sitteth upon many waters, man.
That's right. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, man, that's a huge part of salvation, man. Getting our own land, man. Hell, we getting saved from the curse of the law.
Mm-hmm.
So getting our land, getting out of captivity. Cop crew, man.
Being over you fucking heathens, putting you heathens into subjection.
And it's really plain, man. It's really plain. Close it out. Okay.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, that's it, bro.
Alright, with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles. Alright, and citation to all your brothers doing this thing sincerely and true and with charity. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, my family.